Hello guys, welcome to the fourth section of programming in object-oriented Fortran 90. In this fourth section, I'll be taking you through Fortran variables and Fortran data types. For more videos, kindly visit our website www.ithubtutorials.com. Now, what do you mean by Fortran variables? Now, a variable is nothing but a name given to a storage area that our programs can manipulate. A storage area that our program can manipulate. In other words, a variable is an entity that do not change during the course of execution. Any entity that can change during the course of execution is referred to as what? Variable. For instance, s can take in the value of 3 and can also take in the value of what? 7 later in the program, like this. S is equals to 3 and s is equals to 7. That is a variable for you. Any entity that can change during the course of execution. And a variable is just a name given to a storage area that our program can manipulate. All right, next let's check what we'll have for variable declaration. How can you declare variables? Now, variable declaration. A variable are declared at the beginning of a program or subprogram in a type declaration statement. Now let's check the syntax for declaring a variable right now. So we have our data types right here. We have followed by the attribute, even though the attribute right here is optional. So we have variable name or variable list. We can have any more than one variable. So for example, take a look at this: integer colon colon total, real colon colon average, complex colon colon 2 colon cx, and we're also declaring them as logical. But in this last one here, we are applying attributes. That is, help me to increase the length of this message to be 80. Okay, well, message can hold in, because it's a character can hold in just a letter, just a single letter. Now, to be able to allow this message that needs to hold, or that will hold, a single character before, to extend the content of this message, we have to use it, apply attribute, and the attribute here is length. So we are increasing the length of this message, that what you need to hold can be up to 80. Then later, this is just a declaration. Then later you can now assign the value to all these variable that has been declared earlier on, and you can do it at the same time. Like now, let us use this as an example. Let me try to save this, free formatted. So all right, so I can have something like program, let's say variable, we have variable, then you can say end program. I've told you, anything you open, you have to close it, and immediately after your program, you have your implicit none. So immediately after your implicit none, let's just try to declare something like you having integer colon 2 colon, and let's say variable, or let's say value is equals to 30. Value is equals to 30, and let me try to output the value of this, what is inside value, and let's see, maybe the value is going to be equals to 30. So let me echo that value. So I have to save this file. Let me just try to save it as this name. All right, overwrite. So I will come to build and I'll run it. Let me start to run. So our output should be equals to 30 by the time this is ready. As you can see, this is 30 right here. So that is 30 for you. So that is that about variable. So a variable declaration, you can have a declaration like this, and likewise we can also demonstrate the other one. Like I can try to declare school. So let me say I have school in here. So, or let me do it like this: len is equals to, let me say 20. So colon colon, and I have school. So I want this school to hold in something. Like I want it to hold unilag, and Yabatech, All right, so Unilag and Yabatek. As you can see here, let me close that, Unilag and Yabatek. So let me try to output this as well, the value that is inside this school, and let's see what it's going to give to us. So I can come here and say school. So let me try to build that and see what we're going to have inside the project. Or in another words, let me try to do something again so that to save us time. I can copy this, Control C, Control V. So I can say school 2. So school 2 is equals to uh, let me remove this attribute. So school 2. So let me echo that and let's see what we're gonna have in that as well. Enter. So school 2. So let me echo that build, so we have start to run. Yes, so let's see what our output is gonna look like. So we have school 1 and we have school 2. So the first result right here, as you can see, is Unilag and Yabatek. I've extended the value of this school 1, this school ordinary school, to be 20, so it can accept in up to 20 characters. But school 2 is also having Unilag and Yabatek more than one strings, but because I have not extended the length of this school 2 to take in as many characters, as you can see here, is giving me U. So that is all about variable declaration. So by the time we get into manipulation of strings, you understand more better about characters. All right, let us check in data types, Fortran data types. What do you mean by Fortran data types? A Fortran variable can be considered as a box that is capable of holding a single value of certain type. Therefore, a variable has a name, the variable name, and the data type or its type. The way of choosing a name for a variable must fulfill the rules of composing a Fortran identifier. The type of variable can be one of these following, like integer. That is, we can have an integer data types, as you can see in our previous example, like you having integer like this. So this is what we refer to as a data type. This one is an integer data type. This is a character data type. So in Fortran we have like up to 5 data types, so it is very important. So as you can see, we have real. So like in this example, I can still also have a real as what, as data type. So real, so I can say real colon colon let me say value 2 equals let's say 24.6. So with this example right here, it's a valid example of a real of a real example of declaring a value 2 to be what, to be real. So when we are talking about real, a real is a data type assigned to a variable that can hold in a decimal value. As you can see, this one is holding a decimal value. If I declare this as integer, it's going to truncate 0.6 for me and output 34, because 34 is the integer part. So it means that it's concerned with the integer part. But if I declare it as real, it's concerned both with the integer and with the real. So that is that. So the next data type is the complex. A variable is capable of holding a complex number. We have logical. The variable is capable of holding a logical value that is true or false. In a situation whereby you are having a logical as a data type, that is, you are having logical. Now a logical can accept two values, true or false. Now let's assume that am storing I'm declaring old as a variable, so I'm declaring it to be logical. Then I can now assign to it a true value, so one thing you need to know is that if you are assigning a true value to hold, it must start with dot and end with dot. Or if you don't want to use true, you can say is what, is false. So it must start with dot and end with what, with dot. So that is logical. There's a little mistake about here. So logical. So that is logical data type. So in logical data types, we hold in a value, two values, that is either false or what, or true. So this hold is a variable holding a false value. So that is a logical. The last but one is the character, of which we have discussed that earlier on, that a variable is capable of holding a character string of a certain length. So I hope you know how you can be able to declare a variable. So just declare a variable with that format. We have the data types, 2 colon, value or the variables that you want here. You can have as many variables as you want. Like now I can say comma, so comma, I can say a is equals to 2, a is equals to 3, comma, t is equals to 78, and so on and so forth. So you can have in more variable list on the same declaration, but one thing is that they are going to share in the same data type. Like this one, value at, you are having the same data types as what, as integer. So I hope you know how what a variable is and how you can declare a variable and how you can be able to initialize a variable as well. So that is all we have for us in the first section. All right, now in the next section we'll be talking about